We're back. Can you believe it? Only took us a year to get back to this. All right, so Critique-Opolis. I don't know, what are we at, 8 or 9 or something? Who knows?
That sounds good.
All right, so this was my pick for this go around. I think I told you. Let me move the mic a bit here. I kept seeing the poster for this, but I couldn't get a handle on what it was about.
Yeah.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on. Yes,
Okay.
can you hear?
Yeah. So somebody told me, though, it was about chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to sound like a weird reason to see the movie, but like all the stills I saw of Jennifer Aniston, she didn't look like Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
She just looked a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
Had you seen it before?
Mm-hmm.
You had?
Yeah.
All right. Synopsis. Go ahead.
You want me to tell the synopsis? I don't have that ready.
Okay. Well, I'll do it then. So Jennifer Aniston plays Claire, and this is straight from IMDb, so I don't want you to think that I'm spitballing this and I'm this articulate. But an acerbic, hilarious Claire becomes fascinated with the suicide of a young woman in her chronic pain support group, who is played by Anna Kendrick. She uncovers the detail. Her character's name is Claire. That is Anna Kendrick. She commits suicide, and Claire, that being Jennifer Aniston, develops a poignant relationship with her husband, who also grapples. She also grapples with a tragedy that befell her off screen in the movie that you don't really see.
Mm-hmm.
What was your impression? Because you'd seen it before and I had, but like you didn't really tell me like what effect it had on you. Because I had never really seen her in a dramatic role before.
I mean, mostly what I remember is that I was very intrigued by, like you said, Jennifer Aniston's character in this movie looking rough around the edges and not being like the quote-unquote typical Jennifer Aniston that everyone is used to. And I mean, I like movies like this in general, but to see someone who's maybe, what do you call it,
Stereotype? Typecast?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Like in these, like, I don't know,
like a
romantic
professional,
comedy
professional,
role,
gorgeous
like,
lady.
Like I was very intrigued by that, and I thought, because I always wonder, like, can these actors do that? Which, I mean, I'm not an actor, so that's not very nice to say to actors, but like, I just wanted to see it. It was very intriguing to me, and I didn't really understand the thing about the chronic pain from the preview or the poster that I saw. I mean, that came out to me in the movie the first time I saw it.
Have you ever met anybody with chronic pain?
I have not, no.
Like, you can just, I don't know if there's any other way to describe it, in that they, like, everything about their movements looks labored and aching. And I don't know what kind of research Jennifer did for this, but just like there's a scene in the preview, she's just walking down the hallway talking to somebody, and she has to put her hand on the wall, and she doesn't make full strides. She kind of moves side to side. It's like, because she was in a car accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell like her hips are jacked up, and just moving her hips is painful. And they make a point of like, while she's in the car, she can't sit upright anymore. Yeah. She has to make the seat go all the way down. Otherwise, she's in like agony.
Yeah, it has to be very steady driving.
Thank God it was in Southern California. Can you imagine if she was here in Michigan? Oh God, she'd never leave the house.
She'd never ever leave the house.
Yeah. So I think, as far as an actress goes, like when you see somebody play something that's out of type, she like the whole movie, she just looked like on the crest of agony. Like she was just barely, like she was just medicated enough to stay under it. So hats off to her. But I can applaud the acting, but at the same time, I was like, oh my God, I just feel terrible for you.
Yeah.
And she has this housekeeper that takes care of her. She has a, was it the husband that fell apart because of?
I think her ex-husband.
Yeah, and she just has the frosty relationship with everybody.
Yeah, I think that's partly due to her chronic pain. She just can't. She's not friends with anybody. She doesn't have any.
Aside
friends.
from the housekeeper, and even the housekeeper, she treats like shit.
Yeah.
But I know 2 people who suffer from pain, and that's not far off type. It's like they can't be. If you're in pain all the time, of course you're going to be short with people.
Yeah, that's true.
But Nina, Anna Kendrick's character visits her, like throughout the movie, and it's weird. It's almost like this. It's almost like she has a playful attitude because she's dead.
Yeah, I would agree 100%.
And it's almost like these visions, like aside from her seeing a dead person, like they almost serve to taunt Claire more because this girl's like, you're still alive. You can do whatever you want. She's like, I can't. I'm in pain all the time. Wow, fuck, get over it. And then there's I feel like maybe I'm not doing a good job of selling this movie, but if you want to, I think that'd be a better part of the conversation to describe, like, I wanted to know the depth of the movie because I just saw someone who was dealing with pain in the preview, but I wanted to know the 2 people I know who suffer from it. Like, there's kind of no end in sight, and they don't discuss their feelings. So I think it'd be neat to see a narrative where somebody, like in the span of 2 hours, they have to make a decision on how they're gonna navigate their agony. And do you remember? And we saw this. What was it, like 6 months ago?
Was it that long ago?
It was a while.
It had to be a while.
We saw it in the summer, right?
Probably true.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
There's a scene where William H. Macy is in it, just for a second, and he plays. How much do I want to say here? He plays somebody who had a significant impact on Claire's life in what resulted in her pain, but something else was taken from her that was very, very significant, and that's probably, like, the physical pain that she deals with is just kind of like a byproduct compared to, like, the emotional stuff. You learn at that moment that all of her acerbicness and all of her bitterness is not just from the pain.
Yeah.
It's way deeper.
Said. Yeah.
It's way deeper.
She's dealing with a lot.
You and I talked once about, how, like, there's people will say that it's important to forgiveness is important, and we went back and forth a little bit about how I think that's just, like, on some occasions that's just a social narrative, and that's when you forgive somebody that's more for you. So you don't, like, really. I don't know. I haven't wrapped my head around the idea of forgiveness for somebody who has truly wronged you. Yeah. Like, if you don't think about it all the time, maybe. If it's something that consumes your life. But I think for her, the anger was, like, it was justified. It's almost like she needed it. you know, and she needed to like use it to act on. Like, and when this guy showed up, it's like she needed it. She kept her sharp, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she knew. I mean, I think she was so far deep, so depressed and so unhappy about so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so many things, but the things that she was unhappy about were so bad English major that she just couldn't see anything else. She couldn't think about anything else. She couldn't see anything else.
The things that she were upset about were like pillars of her life.
Yeah.
That were irreparably damaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
there was no going back, and there was no going forward in I mean, she couldn't be happy.
But towards the end of this, though, she and her housekeeper, we really have to. We can't wait this long before we do a podcast. Where did they go? Do you recall?
They went to Mexico.
They went to Mexico
across the border because they were in California. They live in
right,
California.
because she needed more medication, right? Yeah. And she smuggled it back.
Yeah,
that's
some
right.
High, dosage drug.
Or some crazy high dosage drug. Yeah. And it was kind of a. I don't know if I'd call it kind of a trigger ending. Like I had said, she had spent so much of the. Whenever she was driven anywhere, she had the seat reclined.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a couple of things that were said that just made her decide that she is deciding to move forward. And the first step with doing that is dealing with the pain head on.
That's right, yep.
So the movie closes, she sets the seat all the way back up. She like pops into like a normal sitting position. Mm-hmm. She takes in this big breath because you know that she's like, this is the first step mm-hmm. in moving forward, mm-hmm. but also, holy shit, here comes the pain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like she's like in the next frame, which they don't show, the movie just ends, but the next frame would have been her like,
ah! Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we really review movies where we, aside from maybe Red Rocket, where, we don't normally dump on them, but I can't imagine a lot of men would see this.
Yeah. I mean,
like you have to be in a very specific mood to want to deal with a movie about
huge unhappiness.
Yeah, unhappiness and how to navigate it and how to like take steps out of it.
I really liked this movie a lot, and I agree. I mean, you'd have to be in the mood because it's not going to be happy, cheerful, but it's very serious. But it's just, I mean,
it's funny though. She's like anything that Jennifer Aniston is. She has like she has natural.
Yeah.
She has natural comedic timing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just her, she's in pain, so she responds to it with, like, just biting humor, yeah. And it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, there are some light-hearted moments, like, I mean, for a minute, doesn't she have a thing with someone who's working on her house?
Yeah, that's Nina's husband. Remember?
It is?
Yeah. Well, one of them, I don't know, maybe she was screwing around all over the place because she had a big deal job,
you're
right?
Right. I forgot. I think you're right.
Yeah, she did because it said that in the synopsis.
Was he working? Okay, he was working outside of her house.
I can't remember. It's the worst movie podcast, but it's.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, I think he kind of sought her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of back and forth about who was seeking each other out. And then also, didn't he... Well, another lighthearted moment was she was having a dinner or a picnic... some kind of...
Yeah, she was outside. That's right around the scene where William H. Macy showed up.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she was like... I don't know. I was encouraged by that she was doing
Actually,
something
outside. She was in the backyard, but...
Yeah.
All right. We have I guess it's a new segment.
A new segment, yes. I would say, yeah.
We're not there yet. As you know, we always do the dinner and a movie component, honey related. So as always, go to Instagram, JAY Hey Honey. The recipe for this week. Hold on, I gotta find it, everybody. This one was, I might make this week. I get a lot of these from Instagram, but this one just looked delectable. Lemon Cheesecake Overnight Oats. Louisa and I don't do a YouTube component to this, so you're not going to see how good this looks. But I would bet that it's mostly women who listen to this podcast, because I can't imagine there's guys who would spend the time making this. But this really looked delectable. So it's a higher protein type breakfast sweetness goodie. If you've ever made overnight oats, this requires a little bit of work. 2 tablespoons maple syrup and 180 to 220 milliliters of milk or almond milk, either one. Tablespoon of chia seeds, 80 grams of oats, quarter vanilla Greek-style yogurt, 40-gram light cream cheese, and 20 to 30 white chocolate or vanilla protein, and lemon zest to taste. And trust me, the lemon zest, it shouldn't even be for taste. It should be a mandatory inclusion. Toppings or add-ons. 25 grams of white chocolate, a third cup yogurt, and a half to 1 tablespoon of milk or sweetener, which, of course, in this case, because there's coconut to it, I would say use coconut honey, which would, trust me, it's going to amp it up. And then finally, biscuit crumbs or coconut. So for the oat mix, just yogurt, maple syrup, and the coconut honey and cream cheese in a bowl. Mix it up. Add milk and oats, protein, and chia seed, lemon zest, and mix until everything's combined. Let it sit and thicken for 5 minutes or so. You can play around with how much milk to add, depending on how thick you want to make it. The chia seeds, just so you know, are going to soak up a lot of the moisture. So you might want to go a little heavier. Because by the time you pick it up in the morning, the chia seeds are gonna suck up a ton. I think they take like 3 or 4 times their volume and weight and moisture. Then divide half of the oat mixture between the two, and then for the topping, melt white chocolate into a small bowl and microwave for 30 seconds. Mix until melted. Once melted, add milk and yogurt. Then mix. If you have a sweet tooth, of course, you can add honey here as well. Put this on top of the oats and then place in the fridge. Usually I'd use like a mason jar or a screw top ball jar, excuse me. And then next day in the morning, just decorate with your choice topping. If you want to add more coconut honey, there's already coconut in it. You can switch it up with different flavored honeys if you want to use Hey Honey, but coconut just fits naturally. Or crumbled up Biscoff. I'm going to make this day after tomorrow. I'm not going to share any. What do you think of that?
It's not very nice.
All right, I'll share some. It makes enough for like 4 people, so I can't eat it all anyway. You don't eat breakfast anyway.
Not on a weekday, no.
Well, take that. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know what? I blab enough. You talk about how we came up with this.
The next part.
Yeah. The blacklist.
How we came up with it.
Yeah, and just like what it is.
Okay. Um. Well, I don't know if you knew about it, I think, and you told me about it, right? So
I did.
there is this thing called the Blacklist, and it's movie scripts
Uh-huh.
that people have written, and they put them out there for, well, mostly for
Production or-
production companies to see and to maybe consider purchasing or making a movie.
Bidding on, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I don't know what
They
else
don't.
to say.
They don't get. They're called the blacklist because they're not put into production, or they have received a lot of accolade or buzz around town, but they haven't either been funded yet or they haven't been picked up. They haven't
It
had
hasn't
like
gone
a
further.
yeah. But people are talking about them. It's when you talk about what's coming out next year. These are always the items that are, they're front runners for being greenlit.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
So we had the idea of picking some of these scripts, reading you the synopsis, and then casting who we think would be the players in these movies. Now, we haven't read the script yet. We're just reading the synopsis, and we're making assumptions about some key title characters that would be in it. And you can use. We're going to tell you who. After we tell you the storyline or the taglines and the synopsis of it, we'll tell you each. Luis and I are going to pick. We all have the same list of characters who we think would fit in that movie or the character types, and then we've picked our own independent actors for those roles. It'll be anywhere from 3 to 6 characters, but there's no shortage of scripts circulating around Hollywood that have the potential to be something great. But these are ones that, for all the industry players who are in the know and who have access to the internet and will submit it for discussion, these are ones that you can pretty much count on seeing somewhere, either on Netflix or through studio production in the next 1 to 3 years. So the one we picked for this week is called, oh my God, that bones and all thing keeps jumping out at me. It's called Murder at the White House. This is a script by Jonathan Stokes. And as I told you before we started this podcast, this guy has had a hell of a past 24 months. He has 4 scripts either in production or that have been acquired in the past 2 years. So I gotta stop saying so much. I apologize. Paramount acquired Murder in the White House on a spec script from Jonathan. Deadline is reporting, I'm just going to read you this from comingsoon.net. Deadline is reporting that Paramount Pictures has bought Jonathan Stokes' spec script, Murder in the White House, with Neil Moritz and Toby Jaffe set to produce the film. The script is described as a Knives Out style whodunit set in the White House. The president is murdered during a private dinner, and a female Secret Service agent has until morning to discover and guess which guest is the killer before a peace agreement falls through and leads to war. So, from that synopsis, just pulling from movies that we've seen that have been set at the White House, Louisa and I picked out a key group of characters who we think would be in this movie. There would be, as the synopsis pointed out, there would be the
president.
There'd be the president. There'd be the Secret Service agent Mia Pine. That's the character's name. There would be probably a Russian foreign minister, because if it's a peace agreement, it's going to be the big superpowers. So Russian foreign minister. There would be maybe an Armenian ambassador, a Chinese foreign minister, and then is that all we had?
That's all I have.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Then we do have everybody. Just because I'm talking and I already gave away one of my picks to you.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to pull up your IMDb, because I'd like to get your reactions when I name these actors.
Okay.
And you can.
You don't think I'll know who they are?
Some of them, no. I don't think so. Jessica Chastain, I think, would be an easy pick for Mia Pine, the Secret Service agent, just because of her role in Zero Dark 30. She played a tough, no-nonsense CIA agent, and I don't think a Secret Service agent would be a big leap for her at this point. You know what we didn't come up with is who her boss would be, whoever the director of the Secret Service would be, like tasking her with solving this murder. But if there's ever any comments to this podcast, feel free to throw in your ideas. The next person I picked would be, for the Russian foreign minister, Syrian Heinz. Do you know who that is? See, that's why I said pull up IMDb.
I got it.
He's been in just a ton of stuff. He was in The Sum of All Fears. He played the Russian president in that. He's been
What's his first name?
Syrian, Cyrian Heinz. He was in There Will Be Blood. He was the right hand of Daniel Day-Lewis's character. You didn't see him that much, but did you find him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You seen him before?
An older gentleman.
Yeah. You seen him before?
Yeah.
He always has slick back hair.
Mm-hmm.
He was in what?
He was in Belfast.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays a good grizzled European slash.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. And
yeah,
then,
I've seen. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I know who he is, but okay, yeah, that's really all I had to say.
For the president, I picked Bruce Greenwood. Bruce, see,
I don't know who
told
that
you
is.
what. This is why I said, look, pull up IMDb. He was in National Treasure. He was the president of National Treasure.
I didn't see that movie.
Of course you didn't.
What's his name?
Bruce Greenwood. He always plays like well-heeled, but just not mild-mannered, but even keel type characters.
And who did you say he should be?
The president.
Okay.
He's played a president before.
Mm-hmm.
You see him?
Yep.
Do you recognize him?
Mm-hmm. I do actually.
From?
I don't know. I have to look and see his list of movies.
I'm just wondering if there's anything from memory that you remember him from.
No.
For an Armenian ambassador, I know you're not going to know this guy.
Okay, well then hold on. Let me get my search engine ready here.
Stop focusing on the ads. We're doing a show
I'm
here.
not focusing on the ads, but okay. Who's your next person?
Vladimir Meshkov. He played the Serbian sniper in Behind Enemy Lines, which is probably 15 years old. He's a tough Russian / Eastern Bloc guy. Did you see that? You liked Top Gun Maverick. Did you see Behind Enemy Lines with Luke Wilson? Or not, Owen Wilson, excuse me.
No, I've never seen that movie.
Really? He was a Rio in a radio officer in a F-15 that gets shot down.
No, I've never seen that movie. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
So, all right, do you see his face? You're killing me with this dead air.
Sorry.
Anyway, in Behind Enemy Lines, he played he was a soldier, but in, where was that? Bosnian War, where half the guys didn't have uniforms, they just wore tracksuits. And he was tasked with gunning down Owen Wilson. So he doesn't have a long list of credits, but I think at this, he'd be way more seasoned at this point because that movie was like in '05 or something. And I think as a diplomat, he would do, he could play a menacing dignitary pretty well. And then for a Chinese foreign minister, I picked Chin Han. He was the Chinese businessman in The Dark Knight, the Batman movie, who Batman goes to China and kidnaps him and brings him back to face the music in Gotham City. Which I know you didn't see any of this. See, I know these little bit.
I saw The Dark Knight.
These are like, he's more of a bit player.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of those bit players, when they get a couple of minutes of screen time in a big movie, they're it's kind of like, and sometimes they can wait years after that to get a more significant or a meatier role. But he played, a wealthy businessman in China. I don't think it would be a great leap for him to play a Chinese ambassador or a foreign minister. You see him?
I think that's a good call.
That's all I had. What you're all right? Let me get IMDb up because I'm just dying to know who you picked.
You know who all these people are.
Oh, I do. We'll see. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're starting with the President of the United States, right?
Yep.
So I sort of took into account that these people wouldn't have a lot of that. The President of the United States in this movie, Murder in the White House, wouldn't be on screen for very long because doesn't he get murdered in the beginning?
We're assuming. I mean, we haven't.
Yeah.
He could get murdered 40 minutes in. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm assuming. So anyway, I wrote down several people actually.
Just like a woman unable to make a decision.
I can't make a decision about anything.
Who's your top?
My top pick for president is Alec Baldwin.
Does that have anything to do with him shooting somebody?
Well,
it did.
You know what's really funny is that didn't come into play when I thought about that. I forgot about that for a minute. Poor Alec Baldwin. But he's in everything. So I thought, and I think he plays all roles very well. But I think it would be interesting to see him as in the role of the president of the United States because he hasn't done that.
He hasn't had like a significant starring role in a movie that I've seen in a while. He's been doing TV since he got 30 Rock.
And like voice, animated movies. Like he's been in a lot of animated characters. So
yeah, he could play
he could pull it off for sure.
At this stage in his career, he could play a president.
Yep. Okay, and then our next
for the
character, Secret Service.
Yeah.
I thought Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
I
know who she is. I just want to look at her face.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
She played
or Amy Adams, and I'm still debating because I need. Well, I guess I don't have to play off.
Has either one of them played tough before?
Anne Hathaway has.
In what?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I just feel like she can do it all, you know, like.
Oh, she was Selena in The Dark Knight.
Like, I feel like she was
She
Catwoman or
yeah,
something.
she was Catwoman. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay.
I think she's got it in her.
I don't think I would have picked her just because, yeah, she's got it in her, but it's, I don't know, like, this could be something for her to develop that toughness. Because she's done it once, but, like, before you know how you develop a rep as a particular character type, you have to do it a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, and who
I mean, I'm not casting the movie. I'm just,
no, I know.
These are my first, you know.
That's fine, but, like, who was the other one?
Amy Adams.
Yeah. I could, you know what, I could get behind that.
The thing that I also like about these two ladies is that they're not all
She played Lois Lane.
super serious. Like, they have, I think, good comedic timing, like we were talking about before with
If this has like a Knives Out quality to it, they'll need that.
Yeah. And so, like, it wouldn't all be serious all the time. But they could be serious when they needed to be, but they could, I don't know, put a fun spin on it.
Yeah, she's got the tough grumpy chops, like when she was playing the plucky reporter Lois Lane. Mm-hmm. So yeah, rev that up a bit to be a cop. Mm-hmm. Okay. And she plays damaged. She plays damaged well. Like people who have addictions. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of a traverse to someone who's tough and angry, or not necessarily angry as a cop, but like focused or chiseled. That'd be an interesting pivot. And then okay.
Who else?
Russian foreign minister.
Oh, thank you. I picked Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That was immediate. Like when we were back, you know, how many ever months ago this was. That was like I was like, yep. There's no doubt in my mind.
Wow, that's a good one.
Well, thank you.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I love him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like if he's in a movie, that's, you know, everybody has those people, and he's one of those people. Like, if he's in a movie, I will be going.
Yeah, like, you never saw any of Hannibal, did you? When he played Hannibal? Oh, so good in that.
A TV series?
Yeah. And it was dark, but he played Hannibal Lecter super.
I can imagine that he would.
Like, honestly, I kind of liked him better than Anthony Hopkins, and I really liked those movies. Mm-hmm. Okay, Chinese foreign minister.
Okay, I don't speak Chinese, so I'm not exactly sure how you say this, but Zai Ma? Excellent. And you definitely have to look him up because I couldn't, but his like face comes to my mind.
How do you spell the name?
T-Z-I.
T-Z-I.
M-A.
Uh-huh.
And the first place that I thought of him from is Rush Hour.
He was the
dad.
Yeah, he was the dad. Oh, good call. Oh, excellent call. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen him since Rush Hour.
I know. I didn't like spend time looking up his other credits, but
but aging on him is perfect for that job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And still around. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, like I think he's probably done. I would guess. Well, it looks like he's done a lot of. He's done both a lot of TV as of late. Treadstone, Star Wars Renaissance. He did Mulan, the live action one. Okay, so he's been working. Kid Detective, Kung Fu, the TV series. All right. And then what about the Serbian?
I don't have anybody for that.
Did you have any other characters?
Nope. I don't think so.
I think I just threw that Serbian guy in because I wanted to see that actor in something.
I will say, I mean, it was kind of, I think we mentioned it right before we started recording today. So, but we were thinking that we should have someone, correct me if I'm wrong, that would be in charge of the lady who's the Secret Service agent, right?
Yeah. We just said that.
And I mean, off the top of my head, I would pick somebody like Meryl Streep or Emma Thompson because I feel
you want a chick running a chick?
I do.
Okay, then.
I didn't think about it a different way.
All right, let me ask you this, though. Do you think well, I guess she would be a primary role, huh?
The head of the Secret Service?
Yeah, because the president's dead, so there's not going to be... I guess that's the thing, is that Meryl Streep just doesn't light my fire. Who was the other one?
Emma Thompson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well... It's whoever your picks are your picks. I like him. She's British though.
I know. I thought about that. I had other actors for other roles, and I thought the same thing. So I tried to pick American, but just because
I think I'm sure she could pull off a American accent.
Oh, 100%.
But still, like, seeing her, you'd see her and be like, she's British. What are you doing?
I know.
You shouldn't even be in that job.
I'm not going to lie. I'd like to see Daniel Craig as president, too, but he's not, like...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that because...
Like, I can't imagine that translating.
Yeah. See, yeah. Well said.
People would be looking at him like, what are you doing? What?
Yeah. He could pull off the suit.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think he's really... Well, I guess at this point he is kind of old enough for it, yeah? Almost. He's in his 50s.
I think he could.
If Bruce Greenwood could do it, he could do it. Well, Bruce is probably older than he is.
I think Alec Baldwin would be a better choice.
I mean, admit it. You just want to see Alec Baldwin get shot.
That's not true.
All right. Okay, good. Excellent. I like these. So
this is fun.
Next week, or whenever we get the podcast equipment together, what's our...
Another 6 months.
Yeah. No. Our next movie is...
Rewired.
Your pick. No.
Oh, our next movie is The Lunchbox.
And then Rewired, since you gave it away, is our next Blacklist commentary. And the recipe, I'm not going to tell you. I haven't decided yet. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later. See you.